I have an 8-year-old mare who I recently got back from a family that had her previously. I discovered that now she sometimes tries to hang herself when tied up. She will get pissed off and lay down while being tied and won't get up. I was wondering what to do and if you've ever seen this behavior before. I've seen horses that'll get mad and lay down and refuse to get up out of stubbornness, but only one other time in my life have I witnessed a horse try to hang themselves.
So, it's hard when I'm answering these questions because everybody has different versions of hang themselves, okay? I don't use that term, and I'm going to try to read what I think the writer's trying to say in this, or the person asking the question. I think they're meaning that when the horse is tied up, it pulls back, has a little temper tantrum, and then falls down on the ground. And while it falls on the ground, obviously its head's still tied up to the post or rail or wherever it's tied to. And then the horse just lays there, okay? That's what I'm assuming this person's meaning. But again, unless you're answering the question in front of somebody, you're trying to read between the lines. The first thing I'd tell you, if this horse is really doing this, first thing I would tell you is, if it's having a temper tantrum, it's using the reactive side of its brain. It's having a bratty, throw its sucker in the dirt moment. When we train horses for the public, we don't tie them up for the first 2 weeks at all. First 2 weeks is about gaining the horse's respect, moving his feet forwards, backwards, left and right, getting him in the right frame of mind. And we don't give them any day off training. They get work with on the ground and under saddle every day for 14 days. After 2 weeks, they're in boot camp. Mentally, they're submissive. Mentally, they're like, hey, no more trouble. They got their hands up. They know there's a new sheriff in town. Then at that point, if they're doing the groundwork well and they're training well, then I'll go ahead and tie them up. I use the Aussie tie ring, etc. So I'm not going to just start out trying to fix that problem. To me, the horse having a temper tantrum and falling over on the ground is what we'll call a symptom of a cause. It's a symptom, but the cause is either a lack of respect. It sounds like a lack of respect. It's just basically having a temper tantrum, okay? What you don't want to do is when the horse falls over like that, go undo the lead rope and then release the pressure. You might undo the lead rope, kick the horse in the ass, make it get up and retie it up again. Or go do lunging for respect stage 1 and 2. That's what I'd do. I'd get its ass up, go do lunging for respect stage 1 and 2 for 10, 15 minutes, knock the air out of that sumbitch, and then I'd tie him back up again and make that look like a reward. Okay, what I wouldn't do is untie him and then go baby the sumbitch, because it's just like a kid that throws itself on the ground in a shopping center. I want a sucker, I want a sucker. The mother wants the kid to shut up, okay? But if you give that kid what it wants, a sucker, when it's having a pitch and a fit on the ground at the shopping mall, okay, it's going to keep flopping over like that. I remember I did that as a kid. Vividly remember this. I don't remember what age I was, but I was a little kid, and I remember flopping over on the ground at a shopping center. My mother just fucking walked off. I found her a year later. She was pissed off about the whole situation. Okay? You get my fucking point? She just walked off. Guess what happened? When I eventually stopped whining and having a fit, I looked up and I couldn't see my mother. And guess what happened then? I shit. I started bawling. I got scared because nobody I could see recognized me. Now, my mother was smart. She was right around the corner of the aisle. She knew exactly where I was. She was watching me from a distance. And then when I started bawling and I was like, where's my mother? I'm lost. She walked up and said, right, are you going to walk beside me? Holy snapping duck shit. Did I walk beside her? Did I hold her hand? Fuck yes, I held her hand. Was I having a tantrum? Hell no. Do you get my drift here a little bit? That's fucking smart parenting right there. Okay? Don't baby the sumbitch. Let it realize its behavior in that instance is wrong, and when the good behavior is right. But all honestly, any tying up problems, I don't try to solve them by tying them up, because usually they're just a symptom of a cause. Do the groundwork, work the method for a couple of weeks straight. It's like in the first 2 weeks, it's the same thing. Why do we not pick up their feet in the first 2 weeks? Because there's no point. I don't want to get in a fight with the horse. I don't want to get into a battle or a struggle. I don't even worry about their feet for 2 weeks. Now, in 2 weeks' time, on the day 15, when I start working with their legs and trying to pick their feet up on a wild Mustang, how much trouble do you think they give me? Zero. But if I tried to pick the wild Mustang's feet up on day 2, oh, he'd have a problem with that. He'd pitch a fit. He wouldn't want me to do it. So there are some battles that just aren't really worth having if you just follow the method religiously for 14 days and get your horse using the thinking side of his brain, get him respectful, get him listening to you, you'll be shocked at how I call what this is like an idiosyncrasy. These stupid things that horses do that annoy the shit out of us, they just disappear. Pawing, biting, flipping over. Like, I'll get questions like this all the time. Like, Clinton, I'm riding my mare down the trail, and right at 3 hours and 7 minutes, my mare will just stop, and she'll race backwards as quickly as she can, and she'll fall into a gully and flip over backwards. How do I fix that? Seriously, people fucking ask me these type of questions. Okay? It's exactly 3 hours and 7 minutes it does it too. And it runs backwards and falls into a gully and flips over. First thing I'm thinking is, get a fucking gun, shoot that son of a bitch. That's the first thing that goes through my mind, okay? After that thought goes through my mind, the second thing is, lady, you don't have a running backwards, flipping over in the gully problem. You have a shitty horse with a shitty mind, that's shitty trained, has no foundation, has no respect for you, and when it gets a little tired and sweaty, it says, fuck you. And then, because it's ran backwards and flipped over, it's probably got somebody off its back. And when it's got somebody off its back, then probably somebody felt sorry for the horse and loosened up the girth and said, baby, it's all right. What's wrong with you? And everybody said, oh my God, we should probably get the chiropractor. We should get a vet. Oh my God, maybe it's his back out. Maybe ovaries are sore. No, maybe the horse just needs a good old-fashioned ass kicking. Maybe that's the reason. So in that case, that horse comes to me. We don't ride it for a week. We put it through the method. Every day for 7 days, we do all the groundwork. We just assume the horse has never been ridden. And then on day 8, when it's respectful, using the thinking side of its brain, I can move its feet forwards, backwards, left and right, we start riding it. And how do we ride it? As if it's never been ridden. It's like we start a colt. And we go right back to the beginning. Gas pedal, brake, one rein stops. We get its feet freed up. And guess what happens after the 6-week academy training course? It doesn't want to run backwards anymore. It doesn't want to flip over. It's a trained, productive citizen. That's what it is. But somebody spent 2 hours a day with it, 6 days a week for 6 weeks. When people ask me that question about how do I fix it, they're hoping I'm going to say, here's what you do. Get a left ear and twist it 3 times to the left, kick at the horse in the nuts, and it's all going to be fixed. They're looking for the drive-through McDonald's answer. Okay? They want a quick answer so that they don't have to change anything else that they do with this horse, and the horse will just stop that behavior. They're not a robot. It's a living, breathing animal. You have to build rapport. You have to build respect with it. Okay? Horses are very smart. They do what they've been rewarded to do. Horses learn from a release of pressure. Okay? Horses don't learn from pressure, they learn from the release of pressure. So I know I've kind of rambled on a little bit here, but these questions are difficult to answer because everybody's wanting me to put a special Band-Aid on what they think their problem is. That is not your fucking problem. That's just where it's showing up. That's where the horse is showing his ass. The real problem is he doesn't have any respect. He's either got fear for you and he doesn't know how to use the thinking side of his brain, and he doesn't think you're a leader. Horses will be great followers if you'll be a great leader. Never forget that. So if you have more questions about horse training, you can either go to the No Worries Club and become a member and find out all your information there. Or if you have more needs that you want to talk to me personally for a personal consultant call, if anything about the horse industry, buying, selling, making money, saving money, starting a business, how to make more money, you can just go to call the office, book an hour consulting fee with me, and I'd be happy to talk to you one-on-one and help you make a lot of money or save a lot of money.